Okay, Coach, tell us a little bit about your background.
All right. Well, I started off, grew up in Columbus, Texas. My dad was head or coach at Columbus, and so I grew up in the locker room and on the field. That was my daycare, and going on from there after high school, played 4 sports at Columbus. Graduated from there. I was lucky that my dad stayed there the whole time, and from cut that. And then from Columbus, went on to Angelo State, played football at Angelo State, luckily enough to play there, and then start my career off at Smithville, Texas. Was there for 8 years, coached pretty much every sport there was at Smithville, and then got the opportunity to go over to Bernie Champion, and was at Bernie Champion for 9 years, offensive coordinator over there. Had some really good runs. Our last year, we made it to the state semifinal game, lost to Fort Bend Marshall at Kyle Field, so it was a good experience, and was ready to get my first head coaching job, and never would have thought my first head job would be opening a new school, and then on top of it, COVID hitting. So I had two curveballs that hit me right away, and my dad always said, once you get that first head job, you just call another head coach and they'll help you out. And I was calling other head coaches, and they said, well, I don't know what to do with this COVID stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but very lucky to get this job here. This is going to be our 5th year opening this school from, the ground up, and playing, an outlaw schedule for the first 2 years. And the last 3 years that we've had a lot of success. And here we go again, and starting off the year good. And that's kind of about my background.
Coach, I've had a successful season up to this point. You're undefeated. Tell us a little bit about the season up to now, getting to start district play now.
Right. So we talk about a season as there's 4 seasons. And our first season is the scrimmages. We had Wimberley and Cuero, 2 powerhouse 4A teams. We wanted to really see if we could play physical football right away. Obviously we had a lot of seniors that graduated last year, so it's kind of the unknown. At 4A, we don't get to have spring football. So we get to go out there and do football, but it's not full pad. So guys worked really hard in the weight room from last year. We felt like we exited the playoffs a little earlier than we wanted to. And so this senior class has really had a chip on their shoulder, and they've been getting after it all spring, all summer. So it was good that first 2 scrimmages going right against Cuero and Wimberley right away. We saw what guys would play physical and play our brand of football. And then moving on to our second season was non-district. And, we had I scheduled all 5A and 6A schools want to play up and really challenge our guys again. And, man, those guys accepted the challenge and came out strong against Veterans Memorial, and then played a good Tivy team. I think both Tivy and Vets might be undefeated except for our game. I don't know. But they're 2 good teams, and we handled them pretty good, so that's a good sign for us. And then, of course, Piper, very good program. Coach Rogers to them. Incoma ISD. The Battle of Cibolo Creek, we have a trophy on the line. We won the first 2 years. They've won the last 2 years. So our guys are really hungry for that. Went over to Piper. There's over 12,000 people there. So wow. A great atmosphere at that place. And it was just a back and forth game. And we put it in our kicker's hand at the end to win the game, and a 53-yard field goal, and he knocked it down. So very emotional, big, exciting game for our guys. We're good to get them in those situations to see how they respond with a little adversity and a tough team. And those guys stepped up and they responded. And then last week playing Del Rio, we talked about we want to be better as a team. We don't want to have that hangover off of that Piper game. We got to make sure we keep on getting better, keep worrying about being 1-0 every week. And that's kind of our mentality. And now we're off to our third part of the season. And our third part of the season now is district. And as we were telling our guys this morning before practice, everybody's 0-0 right now. It doesn't the 4-0 start is great, but it doesn't really mean anything for playoffs or district standings or anything else like that. So, we have a goal of defending our district championship again. We're going for, 3 years in a row. And we have big goals of making a playoff run and all that good stuff, but it doesn't happen unless we keep getting better as a team each week. And so that's really been the focus this week, going into Pleasanton, their place. I know they'll have a good atmosphere. Their coach really good. So, our guys just got to worry each week and concentrate on being 1-0 each week. And so, it starts this week in our new season, our third season against Pleasanton. So guys are fired up, had a good practice this morning, and here we go.
Okay, we're here with Coach Zimmerhanzel. Please tell us a little bit about your team this year.
Yeah. So I would say the biggest thing with this team, like I kind of said earlier, they're a team that's hungry. And it started the first day when we went out there for 2 days, or we call it 2 days. It's really not 2 days anymore. But our first summer practice, we were starting at 7 o'clock. And every kid was suited out of the field at 6:30. They beat all the coaches out there. So it kind of set the tone for the year, where it is a hungry group. And, I think our biggest strength is up front this year on our O line and our D line. A lot of kids that have really bought into that. Really anchoring our O line is Luke Lindley. He's been this is his third year starting. He plays our tackle for us, and he's really the leader up front for our guys offensively. And then of course Barrett Fallon, our running back. This is going to be his third year starting. So all those guys played a lot of games. We played 15 games when they were sophomores. So these guys, this is basically almost like their fourth year playing varsity football. So that helps a lot. So Barrett's really that leader, kind of, make sure that the back end, the skill guys, everything goes good. We got a younger quarterback, so it helps that Barrett's back there with them. Tristan Torres has done really good at a sophomore quarterback that's really stepped into that role and has managed a game. Knock on wood, we don't have a single turnover this year. So that's been a really big key for us this year offensively. Caden Scott, returning starter at receiver, had already a couple big games, was our player of the game last week, had over 150 yards receiving, and is doing really good being able to stretch the field and getting all the eyes off of Barrett offensively. Defensively, again, another really good experienced group up front. We have Brody Vestal in the middle. Again, this is his third year playing varsity. And then he's got guys around him, Hayden Turner at defensive end, Colton Pearson at defensive end. Those guys have really done a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. And then behind those guys, you got, 4 linebackers that are all over 6'2" and 200 pounds. So they look really good back there. And it's anchored by Tate Broadus. Again, he's a third-year starter. He started already for 2 years, again, kind of like Fallon and Lindley, so a lot of experience back there. And then who's really stepped up, he's a returning starter, but Peyton Yankee has had some really big games right in the middle at middle linebacker. So the front, they just done a phenomenal job so far stopping the run. And then when guys try to pass on us, man, we got a guy, Josh Johnson, number 0 at corner. He's all over the field. Tall, lanky, athletic corner, does a really good job. He's kind of that guy on defense that brings the juice and keeps the back end straight. And Boston Hernandez at safety, this is his first year playing on defensive. He was a receiver last year, but he stepped into that role. And Trevin Singletary at the other corner, again, another returning varsity guy. So a lot of guys that have been on varsity, but now are starting and stepped into the role and have done really, really good for us. So
yeah, no, and Coach Herb and I were watching y'all practice a little bit earlier, and we were trying to figure out was the JV in maroon or was the JV in black. And then when they were coming off the field, I asked one of the coaches, and the coaches were like, "Oh no, that's our offense and our defense." And we're like, at the 4A level, you don't see many schools that are able to platoon like that. And so that's been, I'm sure, a big plus for you guys. Do you have any that go both ways possibly?
No, that's a very good point. And I think it really helps us getting into our 4A district now and into the playoffs where we're fortunate enough where we do 2 platoon, where we got guys that we had a 2-hour practice only offense, and they got, hour and a half, 2-hour practice only defense. And we have some guys on special situations, Brody Vessel comes in and plays some tight end on our big packages, and we got guys that can help out for some depth. But for the most part, for all starters, they're all just one-way players, and that's the way that we're able to play fast offensively. We like to run really fast tempo, so it keeps our guys fresh, and that's where we kind of get advantage on some of these other teams that they have to have guys playing both ways.
Coach, every school's got a little something behind whatever they're doing. I noticed you got BTP on your shirt here. Can you tell us a little bit about your slogan this year for your football team, for the players?
Yeah, so BTP, man, it actually started 5 years ago when I took this job. I was up late before I did an interview and was trying to figure out something that could really stick and we could, kind of put out there. And, 5 years later, not only, as a football team saying BTP, but the entire community. And BTP means build the pack. And so we say BTP, the kids say, I got your back. So build the pack, I got your back. And it's expanded so far that every classroom in our school has BTP on it. It has build family, take care of others, and pursue excellence. So it's something that not only our athletic program says, it goes throughout all different extracurricular activities. Our band, 18-wheeler trailer has BTP on it. You go to our Garden Ridge Elementary School, in the middle of their cafeteria, they have the BTP logo on there. We have 3 elementary schools actually that feed into us, and every elementary school is the Wolves, and they all have BTP logos. There's flags in every community with BTP on it. So, it started off as just kind of a saying or a slogan, but now it really means something. So somebody says BTP, is talking about family, taking care of each other, having each other's back. And so that's what we live and die by here at Davenport.
Luke Lindley. I'm a senior right tackle, and I'm number 76.
Oh, okay, Luke.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about how you first got interested in the sport of football.
Well, my family's always kind of just watched football in general. My brother, he played for a little peewee team, the Junior Jaguars, and that kind of got me interested. And then I joined the BVY Buffaloes for a while, and then I just started playing in middle school, and it was barbecue chicken from there.
All right, Luke, what was your proudest athletic accomplishment to date?
I would say, I'm kind of drawn between 2 things. One of them would be a couple years ago, my sophomore year, first year playing varsity. It was just a really good squad, and we ended up going to the state semifinals. And, it wasn't really about me, but it was just that brotherhood that we got to share. I ended up getting second team all-district my sophomore year. And then my other one would be last year in powerlifting. I was a regional finalist my first year doing powerlifting, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Okay, sir. How do you stay motivated when you face a tough training session or that you got a tough part in a game coming up?
What it really comes down to is just leaning into my teammates and, when I'm at games, the fans, just to know that I have a community on my back and that, they're working for me, so I need to work hard for them is really motivating.
Okay, sir. Tell us a little bit about your leadership style on the field and off the field.
Mm-hmm. On the field, I'm not really a guy to go chirping my mouth and doing like late hits and stuff. I'm kind of the guy where I'm just going to do the right thing. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability and set an example for the guys around me. And then off the field especially, I do my best to just be a motivator in whatever it is, school, if they got something going on, family, I'm there for them as well. So I'm just kind of a team player, and I want the best for the team in whatever it is in any aspect of their lives.
All right, Luke, being a leader, you also have younger kids that look up to you.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a younger athlete that's starting out in football?
I would say if you love it, give your best to it. Don't kind of like do it on the side as a fun thing. If you really love it, put the work in now so that's easier later on and that you can be set up for greatness.
All right. Luke, y'all had a good run last year. What are y'all's team goals for this year? And expand on that and talk a little bit about your goals personally.
Yeah. Well, simple answer is state. We want to win a state championship. It's been that way ever since we lost that last game in the second round. We've just been working hard for that state title. For me personally, I also want state for myself, but beyond that, I want to be able to put out good film and present myself to college coaches as a great player.
All right, Peyton, tell us a little bit about your most memorable moment or highlight that you've had in your athletic career.
My most memorable moment was probably about 2 weeks ago when I got a pick six. It was my first ever touchdown in a real organized football game, and I was really excited. So, yeah, that was it. My name is Peyton Yankee. I play linebacker. I wear number 6, and I'm a senior this year.
All right, Peyton, how did you first get interested in the sport of football?
So I first became interested because my dad, he's a really big role model to me, and he just told me about football, and I don't know, I just started playing and I love it. I just like going out there and hitting people and just having fun with my friends, All
right, Peyton, tell us a little bit about if you have a tough time in a game and things aren't going your way, how do you keep motivated? And as the middle linebacker, how do you keep your defense motivated?
Well, you know, a lot of that is relying on your brothers. You know, you're all there together. We're all a team. We have really good brotherhood on this team. And I just think that we rely on each other. We trust in our coaches, and we realize that our game plan is bigger than us. And, you know, just to focus on that and not individual success.
Awesome. Who is your biggest sports hero, and what do you admire about them?
So my biggest sports hero is my dad because, you know, he's always been there for me my whole life. He's my rock. Like, every single time I'm down, he's there for me. Every single time I'm doing good, he's the first one to cheer me on. And yeah, I just love him to death.
Okay, tell us what advice you would give to a younger athlete that is just starting out in football.
I would tell him to just go have fun, man. That's what this sport's here for. You know, it's not all serious all the time. You can go out there and have fun and just enjoy life with your friends and stuff like that.
Okay, Peyton. I know that y'all are coming off a pretty good season last year. Tell us a little bit about your team goals for this year and your personal goals.
So our team goal is obviously to win state. That's the number one goal. And then some personal goals is just, you know, I just want to go out there and have fun and do like what I'm coached to do, because that's really what we're out here for, is to do that.